My name is Noel. I'll be your teacher for today. I'll be taking you on Python programming. And I want to start from the very beginning. I want to start from scratch. Just the way when you want to start learning a language, you start learning the alphabet involved. Like in English language, you start from A to Z and then begins to combine one or two characters or alphabets to make a word. And from there you can proceed to write articles and write programs or whatever thing you want to do. In the same manner, we start from the beginning. So I would introduce what is called data types. So data types are types of data we have in programming language. As relates to Python, there are about 7 or 8 data types in Python. And so, in no particular order, I will list them. One is string, numbers. Okay, let me write it down. So, let me write them down. String, numbers, lists, tuple, dictionary, sets, boolean, and range. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are data types in Python. What did they mean? It means that each of these has its own type of value. Now, when I put here 100 and Noel, you just know that these are two different types of value. One is alphabet, the other one is number. So this is what is called data types. One is of character, or one is of alphabet, the other one is of numbers. So these two are different types of values, and that is what is called data type. The data type of this one number is called numbers or integers. Integers are numbers that do not have decimal fractions, while strings are values that are made up of alphabets. And that brings me to syntax. What is a syntax? A syntax is a procedure or rules or pattern through which you write your code. You don't just write code because you want to write the code. There is a rule that governs the way you write the code. Just the way I wrote these things here, even though they look like values, but in actual sense, they are not the way they should be. And that's why you can see underlined to each of these, because it is expected of me to put it in proper form, in proper syntax, so that it will be acknowledged as values. Since I have not done that, the system dictates that this is what I'm trying to do, but I didn't do it properly. So it's showing underline, calling my attention to put it properly. So here, even though this nowhere is a type of value, but it's not well handled, so that's why it's given underline, is underlining the nowhere there. So having said that, I would then start by introducing string. So let me remove these ones and start with string. So what is string? String, like I said before, is a type of value, that is made up of alphabet, and it must always be in quote, either single quote or double quote. And that's what the syntax expect from us. So in other words, here this Noel should be put in quote, single quote, or if I want, I can use double quote. So here I put another string value. Okay, say same Noel. So here I have one single quote, the other one I have double quote. So what this means is both of them are correct in Python programming. So you can use either of them, whichever one you feel comfortable with. Now that we have a string value here, but notice that it is still showing green underline. This is not an error, but it's showing that we are supposed to assign it to something, or we are supposed to we are supposed to we are supposed to use it properly, and that's why it's showing this. Now, even though we have a string value now, what are we supposed to do with that? Assuming that this, I close this my laptop, I want to make use of this Noel next time, or I want to use it somewhere else, I will not be able to make use of it. I will have to start writing the same code over and over. So in order to avoid that repetition, what I would do is to put this value in somewhere that can hold this value for me, so that anytime I want, I can come back to it and I then see what I want. And that brings us to something called a variable. What is a variable? A variable is nothing other than a container, a value that a container that holds our value, a place where we can save our value. Just the way you have your bag, or you have your bottle of water, you can put water inside, you can put anything you want inside your bag. Your bag can contain your books, your bag can contain your pen, it can contain your money, it can contain whatever thing you wish. You can even put your clothes in excuse me, you can even put whatever you want in your bag, and you carry your bag about. So when somebody sees you and asks you, what are you carrying, what do you say? You say you are carrying your bag. However, what you have there is your clothes, or what you have there is your book, or your pen, or your money, or whatever. So that's what it is. Your bag serves as something that carries your value for you. In the same way, that's what a variable stands for. So a variable is nothing other than something that holds value for us, and that's what this is. So now I bring uh, this this name here is called variable. What does it do? It simply holds the value of whatever I put here. So anytime I want, I can come back and open my bag. What do I see inside my bag? Is the same thing I put inside that bag. So if I'm going out and I put my book inside my books inside my bag, when anytime I want to see my book, I open my bag, and I bring out the book. So exactly that's what is happening here. So name here is holding my value. So anytime I want, I can come back and see it. So for me to open my bag to see it, there is a method, a function that we use called print. So this print is an instruction to the system to open the bag, open my variable, and show me whatever I put inside. So what am I going to do? I'll then put whatever variable I use to save it there, which is name here. So name is the variable, Noel is the value. I can then print. How do I print? Right click, then you come down to here, run whatever name you use to save your file, then you run it, then it gives you your value. So this is string, this is string value showing us now. Now suppose I want to know the length, how many items, or the length of alphabet in this place, in this variable called name. What I would do, I would then use len. What does this len mean? It means to check the number of items, or the number of values inside the variable. So what is that variable I have? The variable I have here is name. So I pass the name inside. So how do I see the number of items there? I can then save it in a variable, another variable, or I print it directly, just the way I did the one here above. This one is to print this out. Now I want to see how many letters are there, how many items. I'll then do what I did before, pass the same variable here into this function, into this print function, and then run the code. Now when I run it, it will show me 4. Now let's check how many items how many letters are inside this inside this variable. We have Noel, that is NUE, so there are 4, so it's correct. So this is how you run a string value. Now suppose now I want to convert this string value to I want to convert it to uppercase. What do? I can then say name dot upper. So what I'm instructing the system to do is to convert whatever thing I have inside this place from whatever form it is to uppercase. So here I can save it in another variable and then print it. Now I can then print n. N would then I will now change whatever I put there into capital letter. Meanwhile, this thing here that looks like equals to, in mathematics is called equals to. However, in programming language, it's called assignment operator. So this thing here is an assignment operator. So what I'm doing here is that I am taking the value called Noel and I'm assigning it to a variable called n. Same thing I'm doing here. I am taking the length of whatever I have here and I'm assigning it to f. Same here, same thing here. I'm converting the value inside name here from whatever form it is to uppercase and I'm assigning that value to n and I'm printing it. So now suppose I want to replace an item there. I don't want I want to change n to change n to g. So what I'll do here, I can assign it to another variable or I print it directly. So now if I print a here, you will see that sorry, let me not just assign it there. So if I print name here, you see that n has been replaced with g. So okay, I need to sign it to so you can see here it has replaced it. It has replaced the n here. What I did before was I tried to print it directly other than assigning it a value. I tried to print a name before the value of name instead of assigning it to a variable and then printing it. So that is exactly what I did. Now suppose now I want to split this. Okay, let me get a better thing for you to understand. Suppose here I have another string value here. Let me say, can I say? Okay, my name is Noel and I am your teacher for today. So here, this is everything here is a string value, and then I want to assign this to a variable word. Then what I want to do is to separate this whole thing anywhere there is space. What I will do here is print this and I then put this word here and then call split. So here what I'm doing here is to split this thing anywhere there is a space. As you can see, there's a space here, there's a space here, there's a space here. So anywhere there's a space, if I do not specify anything here, it will split it. However, if I put this in here, if I put comma here or whatever thing I put there and I want to split it by that, let me merge all the thing here. So now I've merged everything, but I want to split it and anywhere or everywhere that is this comma is found. So here what I'll do is use this variable and call split method, and then pass whatever thing I'm instructing the system to split anytime it sees it. So having done that, if I run the code, it gives us the same output. Now suppose we want to count how many times a particular uh, character appeared here. Let's say we use a here. So what I'll do is here I'll just put a here and then print it. So what am I doing here? What I'm doing here is to check how many times a appeared in words. So if I run the code here, it will tell me the number of times. So there is 5 times a appeared here. So let's check. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. So there are 5 times a appeared here. So let's move on and check. Now suppose I have another words here. Let me use here kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I hope Arabia. Is it Arabia? Yeah, I don't know. I think Arabia. I think I'm correct. And then what am I doing? Okay, and assign it to another variable. Come here to here. So and now let's say I have a space here, and there is another space here. Now if I print this here, it will show the spaces here. As you can see, there is a space here. So this space here is the same space here. Now I don't want to have this space here. What will I do? I can then say print. What am I printing? I'm printing word 2. Then done strip. Strip means to remove every space there. So when I run it, you can see here it has removed the spaces here. You notice the space here has gone, the one here also has gone. So that's how you do that. Now let's move on. Let's say what that I want to okay, I've used count, split, I've used count, I've used striped, I've used upper is alnum. Okay, I'll come back to that. Let me put okay. If I use start with means I'm asking a question. Does this word start with here? My is a question I'm asking. Is it true or false output? So here when I run it, it will give me true or it will give me false. What I'm asking here is, does it start with my? And it shows here no. So it shows that it does. Okay, this is end with instead of start. Okay, this word does end with. So end with here, it comes to this place and checks here. Does this thing here my end here? So the answer is no. So if I run the same thing here and do with start with word 1, the start with, and do the same thing here. So here when I run it, what would it tell me? It tells me true, because mine here starts here but mine here does not end here. So that's one. So moving on, let's say here okay, let's say center, okay, title, what does this title do? Title would automatically give it every alphabet, the beginning of every alphabet. It will capitalize that. So here, this is word here. So this is, what am I doing? This is word here. The word here is what I'm asking to title for me. So here, M becomes capital, N becomes capital, is becomes capital, and only the first words after space will be in capital letter. Others will still retain their values, small letter, which they are here. So as you can see here, it's now changed each of them to capital letters. Now, what if I want to, if I use dot capitalize? So what does capitalize do? Capitalize, what it does is to capitalize the first letter, not the entire word. So it will capitalize the first alphabet, which is M. The rest of them will be the same thing. So that's what it does. Now, what else what other important thing here? I've used split, start with, replace, is annum. Is annum is asking a question. Is it is it alphanumeric? Is what I put the alphanumeric. So if I use here, so what it will tell me here now is that it is no, false, that it is not alphanumeric, because there is no number there and there is not number. Now again, if I run again here, I put word here and I put what other thing is lower. If it's in lowercase, it will tell me yes, it's in lowercase. If it's not in lowercase, it will say false. So let's check what it will give us. Everything is in lowercase here. As you can see, this word here, everything is in lowercase. So it will show lower. It will show lowercase. Now let's check what other thing here. Okay, swap case. Swap case. Okay, title of, okay, find, very important. Find. Let's say we want to find I here. So what we are asking is to show us the first place this I is found. So let's run the code and see what it will tell us. Now it shows 8. What it means is that the counting starts from here, and this is where I is. So it's found I here. So what is it telling you? That he found it at position 8, index 8. Now let's count. This is, in programming, counting start from 0. So if you start counting from 1, that should be okay. Let's say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8. So if you start counting from 1, it becomes a different place. If it becomes 9, if you start counting from 0, which is the proper way to count in programming, so it will give you at position 8. Now, let's see, we have what here. What other thing can we do here? Upper is digit. Is asking, is it number? Okay, let's check now. If it's made up of if it's just number, it will show true. But if it's not number and you are asking if it's digit, it will show false. So like now, whereas there is no number there and it's not made up number, so it will show false. So it is typically false. Now, what other thing here can we get here? Replace, upper, title, index. Index tells us the position, just like we asked before. Okay, let's put n here. So what does index do? Index gives us the position where this is found. So if we run the code, it will tell us that n is found in index 3. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So n is found in index 3. So what other thing can we do here? endwith, we have done endwith, we have done stripped, we have done center. Center, will put it in the center. Swap case will swap the cases. Format, okay. Lower, we have done lower. Join, okay, join we'll have to do it later, and we'll have to do it later because it requires a bit understanding before you can do that. Formats, we'll do formats later. We do what other one? Join, and the rest of these things. I think I've basically covered the basic ones. The rest of them, when we start working, then you can see how they work, how they work. If we find anything, okay, I've used capitalize, I used endwith and all that. So if you find anything confusing, you are free to reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for learning from me. Keep practicing, and I believe the sky is just the beginning for you. Thank you. See you next time.